It says the TV speakers are off. How do we get the fabric? You guys do it here.
We hear you talk. Say something. Something. All right, we might have to put a microphone up for you because I don't want to try to figure that out. Everybody here signed in?
Yes.
Everybody signed in?
No, you will hear you. We'll put the microphone up when you're talking.
Yeah, so we'll, because we can't hear you through the TV, so we'll just put the microphone to you.
Does anybody need an agenda?
We have you.
Starting momentarily, I'm just waiting for Patrick. I think he's on his way.
He's looking for his wallet.
He might be. I don't know what happened to it. It disappeared off that table there. What do they do with their things? They're done.
You want me to pass out the mic?
At the end, maybe at the end. We're not going to be doing it now. Yeah, no, no. You wave. Okay. All right. I think we're ready. Okay. Yes, we were. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is thank you for staying. Thank you very much for staying and for being here. We want to introduce the board members first that are here. They're all here, actually. This is, and we're going to talk about them a little bit later, but this is Joan and Richard Morgan, who are in North Carolina. We're going to talk to them in a minute, about them in a minute. And we have Charles Wolfork, who's new on the board. And we have Michelle LeMay and Roseanne Jones, myself, and Patrick. And yeah, so we'll talk more about the board and all that later. But oh, and also we want to mention that Deb Valentina, who was on the board, obviously moved off island, and she was replaced by Charles. She can't ever be replaced.
And she's actually watching right now.
She's actually watching right now, yeah. And we still want to acknowledge Rob for at the last minute live streaming this, since we forgot to ask him. He's always there. And for anybody that's watching off island, thank you for watching. And it is being recorded, so it will be available later. And we also want to thank the non-members who might be here that are attending because they're interested in CSL Kauai. And because you might wonder why we say only membership can participate, it's because it is a membership meeting. And so the membership are the people who have basically said, I'm committed to CSL Kauai and what's going on there, and I want to support it with my membership and my support financially and with talent and all of that. So we leave the question period for them. But if you have questions, of course, we have a question box in the back. Put your questions in there, and Patrick and I and the board are very accessible at all times, and we will be glad to answer your questions. But that is the way we are doing the meeting for now. Let's see, who else? I think that's it, right? Okay, so we have asked Reverend Diane if she'll do our opening treatment, so we thank her in advance for doing that. Thank you, Reverend Diane.
Okay, so let's just take a moment. Everybody just be right here, right now, grounded. And take a breath of life, knowing that as we take a breath, we're breathing God in, because God is all there is. It is in and through everything seen, everything unseen. It is moving us now, in this time, in this place, to express more God than we have ever expressed before. And so we stand knowing that this membership meeting is a divine idea in the mind of God. It is giving us all the wonder that has happened at CSL Kauai and through CSL Kauai in the past year to continue on touching and blessing this community called Kauai and the world. And so I give thanks that everything shared here today is received with the loving, open heart of God, that everything is delivered with the loving, open heart of God. And as we stay in that place of receptivity, the flow of good, the flow of God is pressed down, overflowing, moving this community in ways that are indeed magnificent. And so I give thanks for knowing that it is already done and known and demonstrated in the mind of God. We're simply saying yes to it and allowing it to come forth in and through us in all of its magnificence. And so it is.
It's very grounding. Thank you.
And I think we also put some clipboards or something, or there's pens out there, correct? Yeah, just so that you'll be able to, because there's nothing worse than an idea comes and then you don't remember it when the question and answer time comes. So jot them all down and we'll deal with them.
Yeah,
during that.
so we can move this along
Yeah,
and
'cause
not
if we
be
do
here
it
all
in
day.
between, you
Just
guys
write
will
your
go.
questions down and we'll deal with them at the end, okay? Okay, so the first thing we want to do is acknowledge these two people up here who you're probably wondering who they are. Richard Morgan was our first teacher ever in the science of mind. And it's because of him and his beautiful wife, Joni, that we're even here. And when we first came into this teaching, he was like trying to push us. He was pushing us to become practitioners. He pushed us through, and we did. And I really say that it's because of him. He started us in this teaching really strongly. And when we decided that we were going to do a center in Kauai, they were the first people we called. And because we didn't know anybody on the island to be on our board, because we didn't know anybody, and you can't just have people you don't know on your board. So we had a pretty much pretty much off-island board to begin with, and so they are founding board members. And Joni is like so steeped in this teaching, and she was raised in it, and they are just amazing people, and they've helped keep us afloat. For more than afloat, and have been the wind beneath our wings, and they are off the board because they've been on it. They've served 2 terms, and they have to go off. And but I know Richard's sad, but they're going to stay on as emeritus members and advisors because they have really steep background in finances. And in fact, Richard is an accountant and a working accountant, and he's been a great assistance in that area. So so that's the story on these two. But I want them to be able to say something, and I'm hoping you're going to be able to hear them because where's the microphone on this? Do we know? Like the speaker?
I don't know. Say something and then we'll be able to.
No, you can't. Aloha. Can you hear? Where is it? Where's the speaker? Up right?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Talk.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear my strange accent?
Yeah, he has a British accent, so you got to listen really carefully. All right. All right. So.
What are we doing?
All right. Just talk as loud as you can. I don't know what else to do because I didn't think about the speaker. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm Richard.
Oh, we can hear it. We can hear enough. Okay.
I wanted to tell you a little bit about how we first met with Rita and Patrick, and give you a few thoughts. But I don't know how long ago it was, but it seemed like 20 years ago or more.
It was.
I was putting together a class to teach practitioners in training. And I was put on I'd had a class that was just about together, and somebody said to me, you need to go and talk to the parents. Who? The parents. The daddy. I remember starting the class and I found out that I had 2 of the most brilliant ministers to be in my class, and they were just starting on their course. And I knew that whatever I was doing was simply to give somebody in a congregation somewhere the chance to hear their excellent interpretations on the spiritual law and how it works. And that's the way it's worked out.
Mahalo.
Thank you, Richard.
They have been wonderful people to teach. And I don't know if you've ever had this opportunity, but it's become very apparent to me that you're very privileged if you're teaching when you get somebody that's in front of you that you know is going to go farther than you are going to way. And you just simply so that they get this on their path. Wonderful.
Mahalo, Rich, we love you.
Love you.
Sounds of mine. So I just want to give you a couple of gifts. One is that I learned today that que sera, sera, and why not any key you like.
Que sera can be in any key you like.
This is something that's just shaking me up because I've been thinking about this for a long time. I found out that God's dice are
That was Ralph Waldo.
Dice are loaded.
So I want to give you one gift of my own, because we're all stepping from a teaching that started with Dr. Ernest Holmes, teaching groups of several thousand in Los Angeles. And whenever he started a service with a bunch of people in front of him, somewhere in the preamble would be this wonderful phrase: but there is a power in the universe that is greater than you are, and you can use it.
Yes.
I'm sure you've heard, a lot of you have heard it before. If you haven't, it's a gift that I gladly give you. Whenever you seem to be having trouble with the science of life stuff, think about what Richard gave you.
Yes.
Can you repeat, please?
He said those. All right.
We're already doing that, you guys. We really are trying to let you hear it.
Okay.
But we'll repeat. He just said that.
Wait, hold on one moment, Joni. Joni, hold on.
Why
They want to just know what he said, and he said there's a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it. We've heard that here. That's the gift that he's giving us. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Joni.
I'm going to try to keep this a little bit shorter because it's usually me that's the one that can make a long story longer.
I don't know where to put it.
So all I want to say, I'll just pick it up from the fact that, and the point that we have known and had a wonderful, wonderful, amazing friendship with Rita and Patrick for well over 20 years. And when they came to us,
Oh, God.
with
I'm losing them.
desire and vision 100% because it was no doubt. And that's where the faith comes in. And they knew to look beyond the appearance. And this was materialized to be an absolutely wonderful and growing center. And look at it now. 6 years later, it is thriving. And it is amazing to watch this. Although I'm going to say it's not amazing because Spirit stepped in, and you can do anything with Spirit. I mean, that is the best quarterback in your life. And to have that faith, that knowing that this will all come to fruition, and maybe not the way you expected it. And that's a good thing sometimes. You know that appearance and just know, because it's always this or something better. And that better will come to you, and it will amaze you, because we don't know what's out there. So just make that decision. So just want to say that we are so proud of Rita and Patrick and what they've accomplished and what they will continue to accomplish. And also just to say that it was a privilege being on the board for 5 years, and we look forward to many, many more years of working with them and seeing the center grow.
Thank you. But we have something for you. I don't want to make sure you can see it. Hold on. Yeah, I have to hold it here. Can you see it? There's one for you and one for Richard. And here, you hold it. And it says, Patrick.
It says to both of you, Richard Morgan and Joan Morgan, 2013 to 2019, for your dedication and support as founding member, board member, Center for Spiritual Living, Kauai. So we will.
We're going to mail these to you,
we,
all right?
We were going to mail them to you first, but we had them come to us first so that we could do the presentation. Now we will mail them to you.
Look like, yay.
And we will minus the fingerprints, I promise.
Yeah, okay, that's wonderful. All right, yeah. So, no, it's Charles. Okay, so we told you that Deb Valentina left Island, and you're going to stay on, you guys, right? Yes, I guess there are. Yes, okay. So we told you that Deb Valentina left Island, and as a board, we came together, and this was the unanimous name that came up to take her place. And so here he is, and we asked him to say a few words about that.
All right. Thank you guys so much. I'm very honored. Okay, so short story. Patrick called me into his office. And at this time, he and Rita had been asking me to put a donate button on the live stream. And I was like, there's no donate button. There can't be a donate button. So I thought he called me to his office to ask about the donate button again. I'm like, crap, okay, here we go. And I thought I was in trouble. I'm like, so he's like, well, and then I come in and I sit down. I'm really nervous. And he sits down and then he's nervous. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And he was like, well, you know, I want you to be a part of the board. And, you know, Deb, she really wanted you to do this. Like everybody, it's a unanimous decision. Everybody wants you to be on the board. And I started to cry. I was just like, wow, what an honor. Because of everything that I've learned in this philosophy has definitely been life-changing. The law of circulation, of course, you know, the law of cause and effect, the law of attraction has been heightened, spirit, law, the intelligent mind, everything. And now just living it and staying in principle and just knowing at all times that the universe unfolds perfectly and to keep my vibrations at the frequency of the divine has just changed my life, and I'm out there trying to help people change theirs with it as well. And it's just an honor to be here and learn more and serve with each and every one of you. And I love every one of you as well. You guys have been so supportive and so amazing throughout the years that I've been here at CSL, and you guys are my family. So thank you. Thank you too.
Thank you, Charles. And Charles is bringing that young blood and social media and that social media to us that we need so badly, and he's going to really help us in that area, I just know. Okay, so the next presentation we have is Michelle LeMay, and she's going to talk about membership.
Thank you, everybody, for staying. So the reason why membership is I want to share a little bit why it's important for me, and then how it's important as a community, and then how we all can participate, is because until I made a decision to make CSL my spiritual home, I wasn't invested. So when I made a decision that this was my spiritual home and I was committing myself to my spiritual growth, that's when I could show up in a different way, here and in my life. You know, it's all one life anyways. And when I made this commitment, I knew it was because I want to grow and I want to thrive. And in order for me to do that, I want CSL to still be here so that we can grow and thrive and move to our next level and just continue to evolve and grow. And that's why I really wanted to be part of the membership committee and the membership chair, because I so would love everyone in this world to get this, even an inkling. Like even a little bit of what we know can shift people's lives. And I know that as we take this into our own lives, it shows. And it reverberates into our life here and in our work, in our families, in our jobs, on the island, off island. It just goes and goes and goes. And I know that as that happens, then our community grows and grows and grows. So I know that I'm probably speaking to the choir and speaking to many members, though some may not know that you're not members because you come on a regular and you come every day or every Sunday and you come to classes and you come to events. And the way we make it official is by a form. And so if you have not seen this form, if you don't know what this is just to literally make it official. There's no fees, it doesn't cost anything. It's all just about making that commitment to ourselves and to our spiritual growth. And when we do that, that's how we as a community can thrive and how we can have more events going on, because we all want to get involved. And we've had lots of amazing people pop up and become a part of our team to make CSL move forward. And we're always looking for more folks that want to donate their time, their talent, their aloha, their money, all of it. It all plays a part. And we do it as a community and as a whole. So with becoming a member, it's really about grounding ourselves, or I grounded myself in this philosophy. And we get to do that in whatever way feels comfortable and in whatever way we choose to. So it's not about feeling obligated. It's not about locking the doors and not letting anybody out. It's just all about making that commitment to ourselves. Though we did joke about just locking the door everybody's day. But it's also about just taking this out to people that we know and inviting them to come to events, inviting them to come on Sundays, just at least letting them know that we're available. Because in some ways, sometimes I feel like we're the best kept secret on the island. And it's up to me to bring it out and to share it and then to invite it. Now, also being a member, for those who are online and off island or here visiting, anybody can be a member. You can be a member of more than one center, because we have lots of visitors that come from other centers. So that's always an option. You don't need to live here full time or at all to be a member of CSL and to support us financially, consciously when you're on island, just bringing your love and your aloha here. So anybody, the membership is truly open to everybody and anybody. We did have some that became today members. And if anybody is inspired, encouraged, and want to just make that commitment, let me know after. I can help you with that. And then we always do a beautiful ceremony to welcome our members and to just recognize who you are in front of everyone. And to know the numbers and the stats and to show how much we have grown in these 5-6 years. We have 170 members and growing literally as I speak. And we have 103 that are active. So that means they come in, they're here on a regular, they commit financially on a regular, and or they do both. And we see that. We had to get more chairs, you guys. Like, that's amazing. And that is growth, and it's going to continue. So it's just a decision to make that. And it's not always an easy decision for everyone. I certainly recognize that. It does take thought, and it does take that contemplation inside. But if you are loving what you have here and you want this to continue and to grow, then that's one way that you can participate, is by becoming a member. And then the other part that I wanted to share is that it's one of those, for me, what it has been is truly life-changing. And I felt at home here when I first came. And I wanted to be a part of this, but then I also wanted it to be a part of me. And so by coming on Sunday, it fills me up. And then I just wanted more. And so that's why I love how active we are, and that is a part of membership. By showing up to the events, to the classes, to our special potlucks that we do, all of that contributes to my own personal growth and the growth of CSL. For everything we do here is bringing our consciousness to raise it. And it's also bringing us as a community on a higher, deeper, ever-evolving level. So I just invite you, I encourage you, spread the word. We used to do, we always do new member Sundays, but we had like Bring a Friend Sunday. It can be at anything, and it can be any Sunday. It doesn't have to be a special Sunday. And by living this, we are embodying what we do, and people want to know. Like, people see how lives are changed because there is a yearning inside that wants to express. And we get to do that here, and I definitely want to be of service and help you do that here. So let me know how I can help, what we can do, and if you have any questions, I'm available after our meeting.
Mahalo. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, we used to say the one thing that I always said is when I leave the island someday, either from the physical or whatever, I never want to ever hear, my goal is, oh my God, I never knew there was a CSL Kauai. I mean, how did that, that's what, my thing isn't everybody to be here, which would be lovely. But I never wanted, because I still hear it. Oh my God, I've been living here for 3 years. I had no idea you were here. And I'm thinking, we're an island. we're on an island. So that just means we need to be more and more out and allowing ourselves to be seen.
All right. So what? Yes. The next thing we want to do is we just kind of want to just like do a brief review over the year and things that we accomplished this year that we think are important. Now, I don't know how many of you know about the Sacred Journey, but it's something that we found that we started at the very first year we were here. And we've done 6 of them, and we're going to our 7th next year. And it has been so successful that this last year we had it was sold out. We had a waiting list last year. And this year we sold out 2 days after that the one was over. So whether we'll increase that or not, probably not until we have more manpower, but because it takes a lot of our manpower to do it. And manpower, woman power, person power, human power, whatever, people power, whatever. Yeah, I guess. Anyway, but that was one of the things that we've continued, and it has done really, really well. We are at 3.5 years in this space. And our service attendance, as we know, has increased. We had to go out and actually buy chairs. And we are 3.5 years in this space, and we're going to be talking about that more later. But our average attendance is around 85 now. And just so you know about this membership thing, CSL, why you can be a member in more than 2 places is because CSL Home Office International, whatever you want to call it, used to base their delegates for their conference where we vote for the national, international members of the board and different things. They used to base it on membership, but they don't do that anymore. They base the amount of delegates each center can have by an average of their attendance on Sundays. So our average attendance is like 85 now, so that's awesome. We have 5 delegates this year to vote. So another thing that we feel like has really been a lot stronger this year is that people are utilizing our practitioners. That's been one of our goals, is to get that word out that you can have a practitioner, that you can have spiritual mind treatment and what that is. And we feel like we're really excited that more people are coming up to ask for treatment at the end of service. Our class attendance has definitely increased. We went through a lull for a couple of years. I don't know what was going on. It doesn't really matter. But last year there seemed to be like a surgence of interest in really taking this and putting it into practice. So our class has really increased this year, and we want to continue. We started the New Thought series, which has been really great and given an opportunity for some of our practitioners and others to teach on some New Thought person. And I feel like also that increased the knowledge of what New Thought is, because a lot of people don't know. They think it just appeared somewhere, and it actually has a really intense, long background in history, yeah. Spiritual cinema, we feel like that's been really great, because some people only come to spiritual cinema. We never see them on a Sunday. But what I think about this whole, it doesn't matter. What I think about this, sometimes I have a whole, somebody's just a member of our center by texting me. I never see them, but they text me for treatment or whatever. That's the fact that we can reach out in so many different ways, to me, is what this is all about. That we're not forcing people to do something a certain way, that we have all these different avenues of edifying people and helping them with their consciousness and when they want to. And so spiritual cinema has been one of those things. We have really great discussions after, and the popcorn's okay for most of us. Yeah. And then we introduced Rap with the Revs this year, which is something we do on Sundays, the first Sunday of every month, where you get to come and sit in a circle and just talk about your spiritual journey and where you're at. And I'm telling you, we didn't know what it was going to do, right? We thought, a couple, but we usually have an excess of 20 to 25 people that stay for that. And I think as long as, more than that, sometimes we've had 40 people stay. So I think that has been a really good thing. And it's also community builder, because we get to know each other on a level that we might not get to know each other, by just having a cup of coffee back there. Our outreach theater program, the one that we do with our arts program, I'm not going to even call it theater anymore. When we started it, we received a grant from Cal Stanley and his foundation to start this theater program. And we thought we were going to do this thing with teens. And we've advertised almost a year and a half and we did not get one phone call. We had a banner out there. We had KKCR we're in the newspaper, we had an interview done, not one phone call from teens. It was really interesting. We're still don't know about that or why that is, but what happened is when we changed the age to 9 through 12, all of a sudden the phone was ringing off the hook. And so we've done 2 sessions of that, and we've really allocated our money well so that we're continuing to do it again. So we're going to have a 3rd session that's going to start on March 29th, and we always have kids sign up. And we've also brought in other artists, like we had a mime, Janet Carafa came in and did a workshop with them. Jai did a painting workshop with them. It's awesome, and the kids get so much out of it. So we're excited about that, and that we were actually able to launch it finally. And then it's hard to believe that it's only been this year, but we graduated 2 more practitioners this year, Michelle LeMay and Stephanie Starrett. Yeah, I was like, that was just this year? Yeah, it was just this year. And also excitingly, Michelle began ministerial school because she decided, I'm gonna go deeper. So she started ministerial school this year, not with us, but with actually with our mentor on the mainland. We feel like I want to just give special kudos to Rob Jones, because you have to understand, Rob didn't really know anything about, right? You didn't know anything about live streaming or running a camera even, right? So he's been the YouTube junkie trying to learn how to live stream us. And when we started live streaming, we were just like, we take that computer and we put it on a table in front of us, because our friend Jonathan Zen said, just don't wait till you have a camera, just do it with the computer, you'll be live streaming. And so we did. And then, yeah, we used to do this. Do you remember anybody that was here for? We used to go like this. So, but Rob stepped into this, and he's like, we feel like our live stream has improved. We were able to, purchase a new camera thanks to a donation that came in, and to him being willing to just go figure it out. And it's not. I have to say, he's been on a steep learning curve, right? Yeah. Whoa. And yeah. And so thank you for all the time you've put into that, and because the live streaming is so important. I'm amazed when somebody will tell me, I saw you on your live stream, or even I saw you guys on live stream, and that made me want to come, because they were afraid to come in, because sometimes people are threatened by what they call the church, which we're not, right? Even though in the government's eyes we're a church, but we don't really act like a church, I don't think. Anyway, not that there's anything wrong with churches, but some people have histories that they don't want to repeat. And then I want to talk about the Malama team for a second. We instigated the Malama team, is that the right word, this year, thanks to Michelle. And I want to thank everybody here that might be here, or those that are not here, that have served on the Malama team. It's so wonderful to have that Malama team. It just makes a difference to keep track of people that are coming in and saying hi, and just having a more friendly atmosphere, and actually talking to people. Sometimes we can get into our little cliques, and we don't really necessarily talk to people that are new, and it's so important that they feel welcomed. We feel like we've become a stronger presence in the community, and we now have an outreach minister, which is Reverend Diane. So we're stepping out more in that area, and she was able to lead a food drive for the holidays, and we also took she also got us connected with Suicide Prevention Walk, and we actually had a workshop here that they put on, the task force put on here, which was really amazing. So we continue our work at Lidgate every year. We go there twice a year. I know other people go there more than twice a year, but we at least can commit to those 2 big cleanups a year, and that really means a lot to them. And we also supported the candlelight vigil at for the victims of the Philadelphia synagogue shooting this year. So much. Our tithing program. If you don't know this already, we tithe 10% of what comes in of our tithable income, which we consider anything that comes in donation. We tithe back out. So this year we tithed to many places: the Hindu Monastery, the Interfaith Roundtable, the Family and Child Services is one of our regular tithes that we give to. The Friends of Kamalani Playground are one of our regular tithes. Healing Horses was a regular tithe last year. We give a regular tithe to the Centers for Spiritual Living International. That's part of our agreement with them, that we tithe something back to them. We give to various centers for spiritual living. Something's happening over there. We give to various centers of spiritual living around the country and the world that might be in need or starting up. One particular one that stands out in my mind is I can't think of their name now, and I didn't bring the book, but the ones that lost their whole center in California. Paradise, yeah. We were able to send them a really nice donation because it's so nice, I can't tell you, to put the money aside and know you have it there and then you can give it back out instead of like waiting to see if, you got enough money to do it. So it's tithing is very important to the center. It's in our bylaws, and we would shut the doors if we did not tithe. I mean, that's what we do, we tithe. We gave to Nora's, Nora Hines teen camp. Remember Nora passed away? They set up a teen camp fund for her. And so we gave a donation to that. And so kids could go to teen camp, yeah. Kauai Food Bank and suicide prevention, we gave them a donation. And we also have given to various individuals who have spiritually nourished our community. And I just skipped a page because I probably should take this staple out. Hold on a second.
Either that or let Charles keep picking up that one piece of paper. Charles will do it.
Okay, the bookstore, you'll see it in the finances, but it's done a lot well. Thank you to Roseanne Jones. And she keeps making it a fun event place, I think. And we had a successful fundraiser last year, not as many as we had the year before. But we did do Tomatoes on a Windowsill last year, which was my one-woman show that I did for my 65th birthday. That was our fundraiser, and so was the Sacred Journey was our fundraiser last year. And I believe last year we did the clothes swap, which people are wanting us to do another one. And it was great, but we'll see about that. We have to have the manpower again. I think Michelle and Deb, the women power. People power. I'm sorry, I was born in 1953. So I still use the male pronoun. I'm like try to retrain myself. Anyway, right? So I'm sure there's many other things that Patrick and I sat and thought about it, that there was many other things, but that's the ones I wanted to highlight. So now I'm going to turn over to Patrick. Yay.
2018. Amazing, right? Yeah, I think when I look at Joan and Richard, I think of when we were sitting on this little table in our kitchen, and Rita and I were like, we're going to do this, and I love our enthusiasm. And when someone says the main office, the people we had to actually talk to went, we appreciate your enthusiasm, which never really, not that it wasn't a compliment, but it was kind of like, you're a little overzealous with your ideas of coming here. But we sat with these two, and we said, this is what we're doing. And they said, we believe that you will do this big time. And we did. And what is interesting is that this center has turned into a global community. And when we first came here, we had little Donnie on the beach that used to make the baskets. And we met him the very first time that we came on vacation. And Rita said, I'm going to come back. When we come back, I'm going to bring you some sauce. And always sauce with the Italian. But she said, we're going to come back and bring it. And he's like doing his thing. And she said, we're going to have people from the mainland come. And he said, oh, no, you're going to have an international center. People from everywhere are going to come to this place on Kauai to see you. And he never met us before. But I did tip him very high on the... I said, what did you say? Record? No, I'm just kidding. So we're just... we had a lot, but yeah, we're just going to go a little bit into the future for 2019. And the biggest one is that we are a global community, and we have all of these people that are on the mainland and internationally tuning in and really are a part of this. When Rita says this live streaming, it's amazing when somebody calls you and then quotes what you said on Sunday, because we don't really know that they're there necessarily or who's there. And eventually that'll change where they can actually talk, which will be okay because it'll be muted. But they can actually talk while we're online and do that, because that's how we're expanding. So practitioners and expansion of knowledge of spiritual mind treatment as a healing modality and availability for spiritual counseling. One of our goals has been, and we're meeting it now, is that people want to come beyond Sundays. There's nothing wrong with Sundays. We talk to people that say, you know what, this really fills me and my battery's charged and I can get through my week. We're not here to put any stipulation on anyone, but we are here to offer a full center 24, well, not 24/7, but but a full center. This week is a perfect example that on Monday, which is our day off that we finally took after 5 years, we've implemented a day off. And here's the thing. Tuesday, if you wanted to know something about Brene Brown. Wednesday, you have a crop of wonderful beings that are taking this Wednesday night class that's with Ernest Holmes and the foundations of this teaching and beyond. Thursdays, we have something that can raise our prosperity. Friday, you can go to the movies. I mean, and then Sunday we celebrate. And that was our goal, is to do that, and we're accomplishing that. Continuing to find ways to support the community in time of crisis is and meditations, healing circles, dialogue circles. I will be very honest with you, the meditations and the healing circles are not as well attended as I am shocked to feel that and to see that. Not because, bad boys and girls, where is everybody? But we're a healing and teaching center. So I do question it, and when I question it, where Rita and I usually go and the board, we go to our consciousness first. We don't go, why are they not coming, but healing, only because we hear on a daily basis about the need for healing in many areas of our life. So when we're setting goals now, my consciousness is saying there'll be a day that the healing circles it'll be like a Sunday. There'll be a day that the meditations will be, and we're finding things that work and don't work. But a lot of times when things aren't working, people go, well, we should knock out the meditation. 3 people cannot. We will never lock out anything. Because if one person came in and was healed, that's all that matters at the end of my day. But I also, just like the classes, they're all starting to fill up now, and people are going, I need more of this. This is what will happen with that. So that's one of our goals as well. We also want to launch a carpool program that has been asked for a while now. And these things are great ideas, but they need to be implemented, as we say, every year. And it's a great idea, and we really want that to happen. But it needs people power, it needs that. That's the other thing I just wanted to say to the members, and then you can pass it on to other people that are not here. Ideas are fabulous. But unless they're implemented and backed and supported, they're just ideas. Or a famous, on Broadway from the musical, I don't remember, but I do remember the quote, a vision's just a vision if it's only in your head. Sunday in the Park with George. If no one gets to hear it, it's as good as dead. Yeah. And so these ideas are fabulous, and it's like, well, we asked to have a carpool. Well, I know, but sometimes mom and dad are just a little bit preoccupied with stuff. So what we need is somebody to come up and go, I want to make that happen. So not today, but that's our increased social media, Charles. See, I don't have any problem with Charles. Just walking right up to him and saying, we had a beautiful moment with Charles the other day. I said, Charles will do that. Because Charles, if you'll notice, he's like everywhere, and he's over here, and I'll do and then I said, well, maybe he could do this. And I said to Rita, Charles will do it. She goes, I think there's other people that can handle this. And I said, oh my God, he's going to think I taken him for granted, which I am. But I'm just kidding, but he knows that. He knows. It was just like, Charles, because Charles, I have to say, all of us, but you have just jumped in and just said, how can I serve? Not where can I serve, how am I going to do it? Just said, what do you need? I see him in there, and it's just pulling you out for a second. Just washing the cups and then helping him with that and doing this. And we all do that, but it's just amazing to say that to somebody, especially it's pretty new. He was just kind of jumping in, so thank you. So if you need anything, Charles will do it. Rita's on.
I just want to say that Charles was the one that gave us the suggestion to do the treatments on Facebook every day. And he said, I bet you won't do it. No, he said no.
No, he did think that.
So we've been doing that the best of our ability to do one every day. But I'm going to tell you that people listen to those treatments, and they're people that we don't even know. And like all of a sudden, I'll have somebody say, "Oh, you just really saved me today. I was going to blah blah blah." So thank you for pushing us to do that.
Yeah, and we've stayed very.
That's the social media stuff that we need to do.
I said people don't want to hear it every single day. Well, they do though, because they call and they said I was in the darkest spot, and I just happened to see this live thing come on. And I just went, oh my God. So we sometimes don't even know what is really going on, what kind of effect all of us are having on everyone. It's so great. So get classes online is one of my really big things about so that people can participate in the classes, because we get a lot of calls saying, we're on the mainland, can we participate in your classes. Continue to expand our youth program. We have Kids in the Kitchen right now, and I just know that that's going to change when we have a new place. We're 3.5 years in here. We have an expansion fund that we are now using. In addition to our 10% tithe, we also put in a 5% tithe now that goes from this, so that's a total of 15 that goes into, 10 goes out there and then 5 goes to this one. So talking about this, and then this is pretty much, I think, our ending for that, yeah. And then we'll just do the quick finances. The expansion fund, which we changed because building fund is very cold and very, building fund, it's our next expansion, whatever that is. We had it reduced, if you'll notice, we had brought it in to be more focused. And so we have 1.5 years, and we actually met with our new member here, Steve, and Natalie the other day, and we've been having little pocket meetings and just talking about possibilities, and Steve actually came up, and Emma's been doing the same thing, really involved in this program of getting us to our next level. I was on the phone with somebody sidestepping here last night, and he's been a very, very, he's a member and has been since day one and supporting, but he's always, so how many did you have today? How many did you have today? And I said, well, we bought 10 more chairs. We're at about 120 chairs now, and as we're moving back. And he said, well, here's an option I want to give you. You can go to 2 services. And then I said, not that I'm stubborn, if you've ever met me. I said, well, we have about 5 options, and that's not one of them. Because intuitively, I know. Right, at this time. I mean, if we have big. So anyway, we're really always looking, but I love that idea because this would be, I'm just going to be really honest with you, for us to split us up in any capacity right now would be like a divorce. They would be like, oh my God, no. Until and he said, well, get rid of the food, and back there we could put more chairs. I said, okay, we got better ideas. But I want you to know, that's a person who lives off island, who's so invested in what we're doing here and how to really expand us. So that's why we call it the Expansion Fund. We're going to, just a couple of things, we're going to survey the community on, and not just this community came up, the whole community on the island. How far would you drive to go to CSL Kauai? We need to know these things. Because we know right now we have beautiful people coming from the north, right? Oh, look at them there, and the south. And we have that. But there is a thing about driving, and we need to know that. And so even if we were to, let's say, the Hindu monastery has a little extra property up there, 300 acres. But let's say that we were to, that is still something that we have to sit and consider. We were talking with Emma about that. We're about different people is that, yeah, maybe on Sundays, but during the week, nobody wants to be in the dark when they're driving. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that we work on in order to expand this. But the real thing is we really do have to be out in a 1.5 years. Not because they're throwing us out, but we've got to get the kids out of the kitchen. I would imagine in a 1.5 years, you're going to be having your coffee over on that side by the door. I mean, who knows? But right now, we really do need to get that heart behind it. So we're going to be forming an expansion committee, which we have a little bit. The board is always the expansion committee because of, and every other committee. But we're change that. But because we need to see exactly where we're going. We're going to continue our mentorship, if you didn't know, with this Swami that has also believed very much in our expansion. Not necessarily, because someone said, oh, are we moving up there? No, he didn't say that. He said, I really believe in what you're doing. And the original, the main guy up there studied Ernest Holmes as part of his stuff to see what, and he said that we're very close to their philosophy, except that we're out kind of more in the world doing it. And so they have their own place. So these are still and so our projected date obviously is October 2020 is the projected date that we have to be gone. And then we set some other dates. So January 2020, a decision route of where we're actually going, and then and Steve will actually pop a couple things in when we go to the answer and question, answer, and comments. And then April is a date that we have to know where we're going. So when we set these dates, why do we set them? Because we must, if you're not planning for your future, then the future is what we're going to meet. But if we're basing it on our past, then that's not going to work either. So, but it's almost there when you think about it, right? And so here's the options that we have that we're going to put out there. Buy property, because I just happen to have an extra $3 million in my wallet since I started that. Amazing what people put in there. Right in the pocket. But we have, that's an option, and or building. County leased property. And what does that mean? That means that people, nonprofit buy it for $1 a year. These are just options. These haven't been checked but there's possibility of that. And then donated property, that would mean someone has all this property and says, I want to give it to CSL, or I'll rent it to you, or no, donated is donated. Or stay where we are. And stay where we are doesn't look like that's part of our option. But anyway, you put all options on the table except splitting having another service. Here's the thing, I just want to go back to the service thing. There are other centers as they grow that do different, you've been to Seattle, a lot of have different time. We're not there yet. We're still building our incredible heart center that we are. And so we need to stick together as we grow this. And not that the separation, but I think I make it clear, but I just want people to know why we do this. New and creative fundraisers and proposals, and if you have ideas for fundraisers, they're great, but what I'm asking, what we're all inviting you to do, is not the kind that as you're walking out the door, that you throw back. Why don't you have a great idea, we could do this, and then you leave. Let's have a proposal for it. Let's sit down with it. Let's really look at these ideas of fundraiser, because that's what we have to do. But the one thing I want you to know about our principle and how Rita and I work, and you're going to find out about it in the finances, the financials. If I waited until the appearance showed me and showed Rita that we could do this, we would still be waiting. Because we have never, as of yet, you said, we got an extra, $2 million, what should we do with it? Let's go and we'll play with that and see what, it hasn't happened. That way doesn't mean it can't. It just means that right now, this is our growth. And I believe that this growth has happened this way, because I do believe that, why not 10 million tomorrow? I believe it's because we were building consciousness together. I believe that if we had walked in here and said, look at the new property, and the island would go, who the hell are these people? And what are they doing? And is this another retreat? Is this another blah, blah, blah? I really believe we came in to build our hearts together and heal together. And come here and build together so that when this time comes, we all are investors in it. And I will end with this one, is that Rita and I, this is our goal. We want this to be here long after we have been here. When we're gone and transitioned into whatever our future has, this is what we want to still be here. And that, to me, is a strong core of doing what we're doing. But I just recently just came into this idea. I went, we kind of believe in a philosophy that says, that could have been 3 years ago. And then all of a sudden, I just was like, oh, we were building our consciousness together and healing together. But we don't have to take forever, so we only got a year and a half. So all I got to say is, consciousness, let's spin that baby a little faster in the next year and a half. So there you go. Okay, we're going to move you along. We really are going to have you out of here by 12.
All right, so, we asked what's next? Hold those. Don't give them out yet. Okay. Roseanne is going to give us an introduction to the financial. She worked on them with me to present to you. So I asked her if she would just give a little introduction. Okay.
Well, finally, we get to the fun part. Numbers. Well, I have to tell you, I'm one of those strange people who loves working with numbers. I love accounting. I love bookkeeping. I've done QuickBooks for 25 years, and to me, it's just fun. So not everybody's like that, I think, huh? No. So what I do know is I've been on the board for, I don't know how many years now, 5 years? This is my last year. I'll be off the board at the end of this year. But anyway, what I have watched the numbers grow, and that's been so satisfying to watch. And I am happy to. Well, you have the sheets in front of you.
They will.
No. Okay.
Well, you could if you want. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just want you to know that these two have been so devoted from the day one, meaning the ministers. But the funds that came in didn't always pay their salaries. The lights were on, everything was on, but it took a while till they were getting their full pay. And
this actually was the first year we received our full pay. And I will just say that Deborah Valentina sat in the board with us and said, why don't we just treat for this right now, that this is the year that you guys are going to get your full pay. And we all sat and we treated, and then we got, well, treatment works, guys. Okay. So, and it was also, yeah. So I feel like I can't hear myself. Can you hear me good? All right, I'll talk loud. Okay.
So Spirit moves in every way, and it moves through numbers too. And so here we go. You've got some numbers in front of you?
How do we want to review this? Share them if you can, because like I said, I only made 50. I don't know if there's 50 people here. Oh, we got
can
enough?
share.
Okay, we're okay. Should we just go through each item?
We can go through every item, every line item, if you would like. Or, I think we got the answer.
Okay. Well, I'd like to at least go through the ones. I'd like to start with the tithing, though, just to show you how it went up. Because, well, first of all, one thing about budgeting, which is really weird, and it just does not work for me in this teaching, even though we were supposed to do it. Because, for instance, we had $91,000 of pledges came in this year, or $92,000. That was about what we had last year, pledges. But if you look at what ended up happening with our donations and pledges, we ended up making, $168,000 in pledges and donations. even though only 91 came in. If we had to create a budget on 91,000, we wouldn't be standing here. We wouldn't be able to do it. So I don't know what to say about that, but that's the way principal works. And we deal totally in cash. We do not have any credit as far as we go out and purchase something before we can pay for it. The camera was paid for before it was ever purchased. You know, we don't have that. So these figures are real. Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that. So when we make a budget, we don't know. Like we might say next year, we say, oh, we're going to have total income of 230,000. We could end up with 500,000, and I'm just knowing it's that or better, you know. And so yeah. Go ahead.
So bottom line on total income, as you can see, we budgeted for a certain amount. The actual was $9,000, $9,250 more, which was a 5% growth in what we had budgeted for. So that's very nice. That's very healthy, and we're very pleased about that. And treatment works because we treated for that.
I don't know. I guess we could go, like we said, we're not going to go through each one, but what
we can do is just go down to total expenses. Now, if you have questions about it, we can address them with your questions of any of the categories. But again, our expenses were not much over the previous year. That's great for the bottom line. So it was, actually it says 0% difference. It was actually a 0.04 of 1% difference. So that doesn't even account, you know, we don't even count that as a difference. So net income is the bottom line. So we had a net income last year of $5,425. Now the net income is $15,560 for 2018, a $10,000 change, which actually equated to 187%.
That included with us getting our full pay. It included us paying. Our rent goes up every year, so you know. Like right now, we're paying around. Well, you can see from the thing, we're 34 something right now, and it's going to go up again. We don't ever know what it's going to go up to because they can change it. Like the get tax went up, so our rent went up.
Yeah.
And
so the monthly rent is $3,400 a month for this space.
Yeah, about right now, yeah.
And so.
Yeah. So, and then as far as where you see the personnel, I just want to let you know that is anybody that's ever gotten paid from here, from the musicians to people that have taught classes to guest artists, you know, to, you know, when we hire the Sacred Earth Choir, I mean, all of that plus our salary is included in that. So it's everything. So it's not just one thing. What? Everything. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So, and then people that teach here get 50% of what the class brings in or what the event brings in if it's a teaching event. So that's included in there too. Okay. Those are the things I think.
So while we have this paper in front of us, are there any questions? Adora?
The tithing is on the top. The expense is here. It's here. Donations.
Okay, I see it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Adora?
Yeah, my question is, I see budget 2018. Is that comparable to actual 2017? Because I'm curious, and not just a budget to forecast, but an actual to actual?
No, it wouldn't be the actual. It would be projected budget.
That's why I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
I know I used to be in charge of strategic planning, and it's really useful to see the growth to actually compare actual 2017 to actual 2017. Just for future, I'd love to see that, because I think it's an even better story.
I actually took it out because I thought it was too much to put in there. But yeah, I had it in there and then I took it out. Reverend Diane.
Two things. One, I second that. I would love to see it compared. I would love to see it compared to the year before. If you can do that next year, that'd be awesome. And I also noticed that there's health insurance on here now. Does that mean that you're getting health insurance? Or what's that?
Okay, I'll tell you what the health insurance is. Our contract from the very beginning said we would receive health insurance. Yay, from the very beginning. So the first year we did receive health insurance, and it was so extraordinarily high. We were on Kaiser or something, and Deb Valentina came in and said, "Why are you paying that much?" Or somebody did. I don't know if it was Deb. "Have you looked at your salary?" And then we found out that we didn't have to pay it. So we went 2 years because our salary, we didn't have a salary. So we had MedQuest. So we didn't have any health insurance expense. But now we do have a health insurance expense because our salary went up. So now we're having to do health insurance. But it was always in our contract that we would get our health insurance. Yeah, it makes sure that. Yeah, and I'm my Medicare part now. Yeah. So, but
I have
yeah.
some time to go before.
Thank God for Medicare for now.
Not much. What 4 years at the end of it? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. Can you just say a little more about the website and internet expenses and what goes into that?
Rita can probably address the monthly
It's
expenses.
everything that we do on the internet. It's our live streaming is very expensive. It's our internet connection. It's our anything we do on the internet. Our any software there. Anything that has to do with the internet. But mostly it's the camera and the internet that's costing us money. The live streaming.
Live streaming and internet is approximately how much a month?
It's 100, about close to
It's
200.
over
Yeah, close to 200
200
a month. Yeah, and most of it is because we have to upgrade because we're live streaming. We have to have higher and everything. So, but that's what it is. Anything we do on the internet. I mean, yeah. Is it here in our home? Our internet at our home is paid by the church, yes, and has been because we do all our work at home. Yeah, only our internet though, so it's both. But it's not just that. It's like we have to pay to live stream. We pay a fee to Ustream Wirecast every month to be able to broadcast, and we could be paying more, but we're not. So in fact, we're looking for ways to pay less. Yeah.
I hear you on the word budget. It's a restrictive word, so I invite you to consider using spending plan.
Thank you. Write that down. Next year you'll see spending plan here. Yeah.
But it's
All right. What else? Any other
Abundance
questions? I want to talk about the building expansion fund too, because I want to tell you how much is in there. Or
I've on Amazon Smile, we can designate CSL. But my question is, I've designated, it just says CSL, not CSL Kauai. So is it, do we have to? We're
still getting it.
You still getting it?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I signed up for it, I put our tax number in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're under, our nonprofit is under Centers for Spiritual Living, under the group ruling, it's called, I guess. So they do all of that. So we have a separate number for CSL Kauai, but the reason it says Centers for Spiritual Living is because it's actually under the group ruling of Centers for Spiritual Living, and then they go to our tax ID and they go, give the money to them. That's how it works. We haven't made a whole lot of money on that, maybe about $24.
Well, on the Smile, when I went to check it off on Smile, there is a number of CSLs that are using it. So it is important to make sure that you have Kauai and not some other one. No, when people go to Smile to sign up, which charity they're going to donate to, they have to make sure that they're doing Kauai, not some other one.
So you write in actually the Kauai after CSL then?
Yeah, it should already be in Kauai.
It should actually come up. It should come up when you put, I'm going to look into that then.
Okay. Okay, everyone.
I know that a lot of centers do that, but this is the first I've heard of it here, and you might want to let more people know.
Right.
So I'll switch mine. I completely forgot. I'm still doing Seal Beach.
It's on our e-blast, but maybe it's been there for so long it's probably invisible by now. Who hasn't
And
had
it's
a
at the
chance
bottom.
to
We
ask
know
a
what
question?
happens to that.
But
Absolutely.
Well, since what we focus on expands, I'm just wondering if we can get the good news, if somebody has what the actual income was in 2017 versus actual 2018, I'd love to know what that percentage is, because I
Didn't we
think
just
it's
talk
even
about
bigger.
that?
No, that was budget to actual.
Oh.
Since you took it out? No, not to actual. I just wondered. I'm sure it's a bigger increase than 5%.
Oh, well. We will. We'll send it all to you personally if you like.
Oh, 2017.
I can't make it appear on there if it's not on there. Yeah. Even though
I don't know. I'd
do
have to
turn
open
water into
cookbooks and
wine,
look.
but that's about all I do. Yeah, so what is this, so I can make a note of that?
Just, they want the actual income for 2017. All right.
What about posting that next week so that we can all look at it?
I will let you know.
Well, we can just post it, and you guys can pick it up in the front
I could
thing.
actually go on my computer and find out right now, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I agree. It is all good news. I mean, if we went back to 2013, you'd really feel some good news going. Trust me.
Okay,
Yeah.
Loya.
He has 2017 right here.
Oh, how did you end up with
Yeah.
I brought it from last year.
Oh, okay.
We brought it from last year. Give it up for Paulo!
Okay, so the 2000 thank you, Paulo. The 2000 actual income for 2017 was 164. Yeah.
Say that again. Oh, Paulo, give me a kiss.
I was just calling attention to him, that's all.
Oh, all right.
Oh, that's great.
Wow,
Everybody's
I
like,
love it.
how did he get it?
That's an involved member.
That's
Thank
an
you.
involved. Tommy?
So what was the difference then? 64. Oh, wow. It's all good.
Okay,
Yeah,
hold on.
that's great.
Hold on, Tommy.
Yeah.
Hold on, Tommy.
Tommy, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, will any of us be living on this property? Do you guys want to live there, or can we do like a bunk bed program for the next year and a half where we maybe can consolidate half of our members into what we currently have?
I think we can discuss that.
Or I put a tent in your
2025.
backyard, maybe floating pool.
No. But we are thinking, I mean, I thought it would start out, but we are thinking of someday to have that where the ministers live right on, not real close, but a little, oh, it's a very Jesus moment I'm having right now. Oh. This is how dedicated I am to this center. That's called mosquito bites on the island and scratching them. Yeah.
I was just thinking what Reverend Peggy was saying about sometimes first time hearing things. So just that everybody knows, we've got Facebook, we've got the e-blast, all those sorts of things. So if you want to be connected and you're not, let us know. It's as simple as putting your emails in. They come out weekly, bi-weekly. That's where you can find out about the classes. And even people who are on the mainland, you know, if you want to get the information, it's available. But we also know that we spread it out in so many realms. You know, it was like we just keep putting it out there, and then it's everybody's responsibility to like tap in and read it.
Okay, so I think that this would be the time to jump in. You guys have been asking questions with this, but if anything else you've written down that you want to express, this would be the time to do it. I think we should give ourselves a big hand for, and I'm so glad, Adara, that he had that, because it is important. Like if you saw 2013 right now, you would just go, wow, these people. And one thing I want to add about the finances, that two things. We don't go by a model. Just want to really I know that models are very important, but also models are kind of crumbling now in our society, in my opinion. It's not that they're not important to look at someone else and see what they did, but that has not been our experience. And like I said, if we really did go by appearances, we wouldn't even be here. So it is amazing when someone says you have to put a budget together, or better yet, a spending plan, that we have to depend upon, not because we're not good business people, we're excellent business people, but we have to depend on principle. We have to. Not that it's going to drop out of the sky, but if we're going to go here, that's not showing here right now. So we have to continue to go on. I'm really proud of everything that we have done up until now. So, Steve? Oh, yeah, please. Oh, yeah.
It was by Eric Butterworth, and it's this. Yes, move your feet, but remember, God can do no more for you than God can do through you. All the help of God cannot aid you except as it flows through your consciousness, through your faith, through your vision. So before you attempt to raise money, the first step should be to raise consciousness and to know that the place on which you are standing is holy ground. Yeah, I think that's it. Really great. Okay, Steve. Oh, we got one.
Yeah, so just on the expansion fund on finding a new home, I've talked to the mayor's assistant, and we're third in line to have us, maybe find a place through the county. And then there's also what everybody needs to think about is and throw out things, which is what we need, which is right there behind Patrick, but where we're going to start and how we're going to start, like we're talking about now. The email blast is really good. We need to do a fundraiser. We need to start that. We've already, kind of started stuff, and we need to expand on that. Look through the MLS on listings and things like that. There's really not anything out there right now on something to purchase, and we would need to, add on to that on the funding part of that too. But that would be something in the future that we've got to keep our eyes open for and everything on that part of it too. And then, of course, anybody we're all one family, so anybody that's hearing anything about donation of lands or, bigger leased property or buildings that, are maybe a really good deal for CSL would be a good one too. And then there's also, Bette Midler has some property right over here. So I'm going to be in touch with Bobby Faria. She's really, if you or anybody else has connection with her or her associates. Also, a gentleman by the name of Greg Allen. He has some property and some plans to do some development here that I'm going to be in touch with, which I know him too. Just like Rita was saying, direct our day, right?
Right,
So,
exactly.
Direct our day.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Patrick, may I
Yes,
add
go ahead,
something?
Emma.
Okay, also, in terms of the MLS, there are some properties out there that may be workable. It's just a matter of whether we have to decide whether we want to build or we want to have an existing something that can be built out. Secondly, this one is not yet out there, but 2 to 3 years, there is at Kaua'i farm, at that area, there is a big development that's going, and it includes commercial as well as affordable housing. And that is very close here. It depends, again, on where CSL Kauai is going to what region, right? Whether we're going north, whether we're staying Kapa, or whether we're going towards Wailua, who knows, right? So there are things that are happening, and I think that the expansion fund committee should involve all those that want to be part of that so that we can put our minds together. I know there are a lot more realtors here, and I know that they can put in input as well. Yeah.
Thank you, because that means a lot that we're all like looking, right? We're all that's this thing that if we're in a board meeting, it's great that the board's involved, but then all of a sudden when people are starting to come out and say, "Here, we'll look too," and that is just brilliant, because that's how we're going to expand is to and.
Also, may I say that we don't want to compete with each other. We want to work together.
Right.
And so that's the thing that we want to involve in so that we can get the result that we want for CSL.
Absolutely. And that's the thing that makes everyone sleep better at night, knowing that we're all in this together. And I think by pointing out why it has taken and why it's going to take a certain amount of time to get to whatever level it is all making sense to me now. That we are working this family together. And sometimes we have to push ourselves too, right? Sometimes we have to go, well, let's not relax too much. I mean, it is a year and a half, so push a little bit. So, yeah, it's okay.
There are so many talented people here that fundraising, Melissa, incredible. Diane, our jazz singer. We have so many that we can put something together for fundraising. It would be amazing because Yeah, not only in singing, but in painting and art and everything, we can make money.
Right. I agree. Okay, it's 12:05. One thing that did pop up was like an intuitive thing that I wanted to just mention, that I was pulling Charles out today because it is wonderful to see, first of all, something that came up here today. If you'll look around you on a Sunday, we have ages of, our age stuff is so great. We have such young people, older people, and then we had a birthday girl here happen last week. And so 94, and hello. So, but what I'm saying is that's why I was a little late. There was some of the young people wanting to know, really, they've been coming for like 3 or 4 weeks, and they really wanted to know something was resonating to them. And they said, we really want to know this isn't something just for older people. This is, and I said, why do you say that? Why do you say that? But also on that note, that there's so many, all of you, for me and for Rita and for all of us, are unsung heroes at times, and you're all heroes in our life. And I just wanted to bring out Ron Stover, just so you'll know, as you guys have watched him. He just does what he does, and I just want to say thank you just publicly while we have the membership. I mean, he runs it like a, like in the oiled machine. I mean, so much so that I'm going to tell one little tiny personal story. I remember him he trains people to work there. You think they just go in there and just, no. Hot water with the cups and everything isn't. And so, that's what they're probably looking at my butt. Wow. Wow. But anyway, I just love it. The next fundraiser. No, I was kidding. What happened was he trains, and you think that stuff that sits up there is just thrown. No, it's not thrown up there. It has a thing down to under the coffee. There's a little thing that if it drips, this is a person who's very organized. So organized that when I overheard him training, a couple of people, he had to let them know that. Now the Revs do it a whole different way, but this is how it's really done, and except that what he didn't know is that he didn't know I was standing behind him, and this is what I did. I went because I didn't want him to know till later. I walked up to him. I said, "So we don't put that down on the thing the way you like it, right?" So I just want you to know, Ron, that. We take sometimes, all of us, we take things for granted because they're just there. I know growing up, right? It's just there. And so I just want you to know that you never ask for you to be ever pulled out. He cannot stand it. But I just want to say thank you again, because this is a part of our expansion as well, the stuff that we do. Yes. And then I'll let you go to lunch. Yes.
It seems like Emma and the gentleman who spoke right before her should be on the expansion committee. But anyways, what do people need to do if they want to be a part of that? That's my question.
Yeah, just contact us. Just contact us. And I'm glad you said that, because they are. And they're on it because they actually come and said, I've got this idea. But if you have an idea, like we said, we are truly, it needs to be written down. We're growing to that kind of capacity. If there's something you need or something you want to propose, to please propose it in a form that we can look at it. Because a lot of times people will say, you didn't get back to me, and I told you on Sunday I was interested in helping, and then we didn't. So just know that you're loved. Know that it's all happening.
Yeah, let's close it out, because I know there's some people that want to leave, and if you need to stay and talk later, that's fine too. So let's just take it. Yeah. Yay. Thank you. So I won't put my butt in your place. Okay, so let's just take a moment and take a deep breath together and land. firmly planted in that one power and that one intelligence that is everything, that moves and lives and has its being as each and every one of us. We are that divine presence, that energy, that source. That's what I know. I know I am that, and each and every person in this room and beyond and beyond. And I know that CSL Kauai is a divine idea in the mind of intelligence, in the mind of God, in the mind of light and love. And that it is moving forward from that place right here and right now into greater and greater expansion. That it is a beacon of light, not just on this island, but in the world, lifting the consciousness of this planet with everything that is done through it, as it, through each and every person in it. I know that each and every life that is part of CSL Kauai and that is in this room right now and beyond this room is also expanded in their own realm of prosperity and health and abundance and all that is good, because we are all living in that one mind, that one power, that one source, and it moves through us in magnificent ways, collectively and individually. And I send that out also to just the whole planet, knowing that because we are here, we have and already lifted consciousness just by being here this very moment. And the abundance of the universe is pouring through us and through everyone right here and right now. So I know that everything that's been discussed here is now moving to a greater expression. And that when we meet again next year, that, I can't even imagine. It's so fabulous already that I know that's the truth. And so knowing that and giving great gratitude for all that has happened, and just such great gratitude for the love that we share and the community that we share here, and for all the manifestations and demonstrations. I just take this word I've spoken and I release it. I let it go as law, knowing that it is done, and I allow it and I accept it as we affirm together. And so it is. Woo.